Hi YouTubers, I'm going to show you how to wrap crystals with copper wire. First of all, I want to introduce you to copper wire. This is copper wire. This happens to be 16 gauge copper wire. That's the kind I would like you to get, a 16 gauge copper wire, pure copper wire. Now that should cost anywhere from $6 to $8 in your hardware store. Okay, for a nice, nice big roll of this stuff. So you're going to need a copper wire roll. You roll a copper wire. You're also going to need a needle nose plier. I use a particular variety, but you can use anything you like. And then you need a flush cut. It must be a flush cut cutter, clipper. And if you don't know what a flush cut is, find out. One side comes out perfectly square and clean. The other side is still sharp and dangerous. So you have to flush cut both sides. Okay. What is a wire wrapped crystal? Well, here I have a wire wrapped crystal which makes into a huge pendant like that. And this, by the way, is a smoke. It's a ghost quartz in here, which comes from only one mine has this the ghost quartz in it, the spirit quartz in it, and I use that all the time. It's a great quartz. There's only one source of it in the entire world. What I did with this to make this particular cage, it's called a cage, and loop and flush here, is I took not the 16 gauge that I'm recommending to you. I went out and bought an entire spool of 12 gauge. It's going to cost you. But 12 gauge produces this kind of result. Okay? And they look fantastic, but they are pricey because it's a fatter gauge. This is also 12 gauge. Now the smaller the number, 10 gauge is larger, thicker in diameter, thicker than 12. 12 is smaller than 10. 10 is smaller than 8. 8 is smaller than 6. 6 is smaller than 4, and so forth. Going in the other direction, it goes down from 12 to 14 and then to 16 here. Now 16 gauge is real easy to obtain, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Really quickly show you. You can just wrap the heck out of these things and just to your heart's content. You can do all kinds, and I'll show you this as the particular variation. Now here, this is a triangle. You can see it. This is a triangle. It's woven into a triangle. I'll show you how to do that in just one moment. But then I have, here's this other triangle here. So they're slightly different, but it's the same idea. I'll show you how that's accomplished. And then this is here are two examples of the round. Well, this is done very easily by just wrapping it around a dowel, a wooden dowel, and just pulling it off of there. You can do that with, there's one way that's done. There it is, like that. So you can use the dowel method, and that's the easiest in the world to make a round. And of course, you just stretch it, pull it to stretch it out a little bit. Okay, I'll show you some more in a moment. These are, and I'm just going to give you some examples here. Okay, then I want the crystals. Okay, this is a box. This is a four-sided. You see, it's a box. I'll show you how that's done. It's very simple. This again is it's a four-sided box, but it's twisted to make a kind of a little, it makes a cute little effect out of it. Okay, and the reason I brought the thicker wire is to show you. Here, that's an articulated piece. It's just easier to see when it's nice and big and thick and easy to, well, it's easier to see. All right, so let's get those crystals over here, and I'll show you what you're going to do with your tools. Okay, so I have here a tray of raw crystals, and there are all kinds of crystals. There's some treated crystals here. These are aquas and royals, things that have been exposed. So this is very high radiation exposure, makes this color. This is also exposed to high radiation. This is titanium and gold. Here's another one that's cobalt. These are really fabulous, fun crystals. So you get crystals like this. You know, you don't want to cover these things up. You don't want to make it so you can't see these beautiful, beautiful colors. So, what do? Okay, so I'll put them over here in my beautiful color crystal section. Now let's just look over here at this one. Here's an easy one to wrap. I'm going to take my 16 gauge wire and I'm going to pull out about yay much. That's a technical term. And I'm going to flush cut it so that it's flush cut on the side that I'm keeping. Ouch. And I'm going to flush cut this so that's nice and clean. Now I'm going to take my needle nose plier and I'm going to go right down to the very base of it, so it's at the fat part of the plier. And I'm going to very gently rotate this so it's quite far. It's a big loop. Why? Because I want to be able to put a rope through there if I want to. I don't want to have to put something expensive like a chain through this thing. Now, I've also taken a 90-degree bend in it, like that. Okay? Now I'm going to drop it down about 1/4 of an inch and I'm going to go out to the side like this. Then I'm going to go here and I'm going to go out like this to give kind of the form of a triangle, to suggest a triangle. And then I'm going to complete the triangle like that. Then I'm going to put the needle nose right in the corner of that triangle and make another bend. Corner of the triangle, make another bend. Corner of the triangle, make another bend. And keep doing that. Down. And it will tend to get a little larger, so you're going to want to kind of cramp it in a little bit. And just keep doing that in this triangular pattern. Or it could be a square. And this is pretty big. I've got a long thing here. And then I'm going to go in a little bit like this and kind of tighten it up like that. And make a little kind of a pad at the bottom. And then I'm going to trim it down there so that the flush end is the end that the client gets. And I'm going to push that in with my pliers just a little bit like this, tiny bit, just to get it so it doesn't catch on somebody's cashmere sweater. And then I'm going to gently kind of jiggle this apart. Like that. There we go. I messed up one of the loops. That's it. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to kind of make an interesting shape out of it like this. Then I look through my things and see, well, what do I have that might go in here? Now, how do you get something in there? Well, it's very simple. First of all, you want to bend this down and then back with your finger back up again like this, so you get a little bit of a stopper in there so that the crystal doesn't fly out the top. But out the middle, you're going to go 2/3 of the way in like this, pull this apart like that, just open it up just like you're opening a canister or something. Then you're going to put your crystal in there. I don't think this one will fit, but you can, oh, it might. It does. Here we go. And it doesn't matter whether you want to put it in, facing up or facing down or whatever it is, whatever you want to do with it is up to you for whatever reason you develop it for that. So here is a hand-wrapped crystal. Cost me hardly anything. I did this quite easily. I used to do this at fairs all the time. And you can square this off a little bit and even it up a little bit and so forth and make all kinds of adjustments to it to make it look better and so on. Spend about 10 minutes on it. That's all right. And that's a pretty good fit right there. And that will work well on somebody can wear that. Look, somebody can wear this right away. And your total cost of making this thing is about, well, the cost of the crystal should be about 50 cents. The cost of the wire should be about 25 cents, maybe 75. Maybe it'll cost you $1, probably more like half $1 to make this. Isn't that fantastic? Needle nose pliers, flush cutters, 16 gauge or 12 gauge wire if you dare, and you'll need a bit heftier tools for the 12 gauge. It's tough to work with. Start with the 16 gauge. I think you'll be very happy. Get yourself a whole bunch of different crystals and try to keep it so that when you cover the crystal, you don't cover the crystal. In other words, you show the crystal so you don't make too much of a cage there. Okay? That's why I did this. It'll be open like that. It holds the crystal in place, but it doesn't stop or obscure the view of the crystal. And as I said, you can make this as tight or as loose as you want. You can make it as funky as you want, or as strict and formal as you like. You can use copper, you can use silver, you can use brass, and it's a little tougher with brass, but you can do it. And of course you can use gold as well. 18 karat gold on this kind of thing. Looks fantastic. But how do you sell it? You sell it by making it in copper, and then you say, would you like this in 18 karat gold? Don't put the 18 karat gold out there in front of people. You don't need to do that. Okay? All right, have fun. Go enjoy.